The truth is, never in history has there existed a human society where people are always sincere, never deceitful, never hurtful to one another, and where everyone is willing to contribute without calculation. It has never existed in the past, and it will not exist in the future. As long as humans remain human, this will never happen, because the essence of humanity is selfishness. So why, throughout history, have mainstream media, education, and some people around you advised you to become a virtuous person, someone who gives selflessly without weighing gains and losses? Have you ever thought about the truth behind this? The truth is, all ruling classes want their people to be as gentle as lambs, as timid as white rabbits. When their rights are infringed upon, they endure it and convince themselves it's a moral elevation. In that case, they can freely strip you of your rights, while you've already lost the will and courage to resist. Greetings to you all from Ancient Wisdom. This will be a long series revolving around the theme, the truth about the nature of society and humanity. This series is entirely independent of the content, decoding the secrets of human nature, that I've previously shared, with the primary goal of helping you build an incredibly strong spirit. I've simplified the time and broken it into smaller parts to make it easier for you to follow without taking up too much of your time. Sincerely thank you for your love and support for the channel throughout this time. Now let's get started. When someone around you advises you to be a good person, it usually stems from two scenarios. First, there are parents who genuinely care for their children, who have an intuition or awareness of life's cause and effect. When you consistently do good for others, gradually, good things will come back to you. Such parents truly want the best for you. Second, there are selfish, calculating, or even cruel parents who teach their children to be good. Their purpose, like that of the ruling class, is to turn you into a naive person, lacking the courage to doubt or question, so they can freely impose their will and strip you of your rights. With friends and relatives around you, if we exclude those who genuinely act out of kindness, the rest should be approached with caution. Those who truly act with a good heart deserve respect, though there's often a hint of irony and calculation. Ultimately, everyone has their flaws, yet they love to praise and extol those with virtue and kindness in front of others. This stems from two factors. First, that person isn't entirely corrupt. Deep down, they still feel ashamed of the bad things they've done, and they harbor some moral anxiety. They know they're not worthy of being good, but they still want to show a glimmer of humanity's light. So, they praise the good, hoping that through this, others, and even themselves, won't see them as evil. They think, if I praise the good, I'm on their team, and I'm not that bad. Such people aren't the worst. The second type is the truly pragmatic and sinister ones. They praise goodness only because they want everyone else to become good, making it easier for them to do evil. When everyone is ready to sacrifice and endure, they can easily seize others' benefits with little resistance. Of course, among these people, some are fully aware of their intentions, while others only vaguely sense it in their subconscious. But this doesn't mean we shouldn't become good people. Instead, we need to understand clearly why we should be good, how to be good, when to endure and when not to. Most importantly, we must have the courage to confront and stop the wicked. At this stage, you need to realize that you shouldn't be bound by any theory. The upcoming content might reach the highest level, profound, interwoven with many perspectives, and sometimes revisit basic level content, because those concepts are woven throughout. You don't need to worry too much about distinguishing which level the content belongs to. When necessary, I'll clarify which level it pertains to. When it comes to human relationships, this includes you and your partner, parents, friends, and everyone around you. Work, love, and emotions are all part of it. If any content is specific to a particular group, I'll point it out, as mentioned earlier. Why do so many people demand or want us to be good? It's so they can easily do wrong, exploiting our kindness. So once you've grasped this truth, what will you do? Some of you might say, simple, I'll become bad too, playing schemes and tricks no less than anyone else. Let's see who can outwit whom. Who's more ruthless? You're wrong. I'm not calling you to do that. If you do, you've completely misunderstood everything I've shared on this ancient wisdom channel so far. Going down a crooked path on your own, and when the consequences of karma hit you hard later, don't blame me. Do you still remember our goal from the start? Our sole aim is to achieve a strong spirit. Everything must revolve around this theme. You ask, what does being good have to do with a strong spirit? Think carefully. It's a big connection. This is the moment we need to discuss an important topic. Why must we be good? My theory so far isn't some soothing or emotional rhetoric. It's the core truth. We become good to gain benefits. These benefits might be intangible, like moral satisfaction and self-affirmation, or tangible, like praise, respect from others, or even economic and emotional gains. If you become a good person recognized by all, many will praise and respect you. Why they praise you, I've explained earlier. No need to repeat it here. However, at this point, some might wonder, but you've talked about building confidence, saying we should see everyone as mere dust, unconcerned with others' judgments. Now you're talking about how to get others to praise us. What exactly do you want? Are you trying to mess with our minds? If you think that, you haven't grasped my deeper meaning. When I said to disregard all beings, that was only for when you lack confidence, as a way to adjust your mindset. I never asked you to act that way. Ignoring others is just a method to use when you don't yet have the mental strength to resist unreasonable external pressure. Once you've built solid confidence, no longer fearing negative judgments, we move to the next phase, learning to understand and forgive others, ultimately reaching respect for all beings. This is a vital step to perfect your morality, elevating your confidence to an unbreakable, unshakable level, reaching the pinnacle of mental strength. It's not just about dismissing or ignoring others. Truly strong souls are always polite, humble, compassionate, and ready to help. They never prove their strength by being arrogant or hurling harsh words. Why is that? Because in the hearts of the strong, others cannot harm what they value, like their cultivated spirit, and cannot deny their worth. Thus, they don't need to flaunt authority over you. Look at tigers or lions. When not hunting, they exude calm, elegance, and immense power. Only when necessary do they strike swiftly, eliminating foes in an instant. Do you think a tiger would roar at an ant? The creatures that bark and run around aggressively all day are domestic dogs. When a person lives in society, they can reduce much pressure and easily gain help from others. To what extent? They might have not a penny to their name, yet wherever they go, people vie to feed them, house them. If they wish to do charity and need funds, a single word brings money pouring in from all directions. That's the pinnacle of morality, possessing nothing, yet owning what most can attain in a lifetime, wealth and respect. Yet they're not bound by these things and can let them go anytime. Don't doubt it. Such people still exist in the world today. I won't name anyone specifically, lest some of you, due to ingrained biases, attack a particular individual. That's meaningless to our learning. Think deeply and you'll understand. Among those who've recently passed, I can mention Saint Gandhi. If you don't know him, look up a brief overview of his life and achievements online. His moral strength reached a level where he could quell massive riots without force or weapons, purely through the respect and love people had for him. Of course, we won't delve deep into his life. The point is to show you how powerful morality can be at its peak. Using morality to influence others isn't empty talk. Gandhi was a man of immense mental strength, never wavering in his beliefs and ideals, ready to sacrifice for them. I'm not saying this to urge you to emulate Gandhi. You can't, and those who could wouldn't be reading this, haha. Naturally, some cult leaders achieve similar feats. Money, respect, but I'm not referring to them. In this world, truth and falsehood intertwine. You must discern carefully. Ordinary folks like us can't reach that level in a lifetime, nor do you need to chase such heights. For now, if you wish, you could try that path when you depart. Currently, we only need to reach this. Through self-improving morality, make others hesitant to offend you easily, inspire their goodwill and willingness to help. When you recognize your own elevated worth and morality, reaping those benefits, that's enough. When you do good with a certain moral swordsmanship, your aura changes. Your confidence surges and solidifies. Gradually, you'll achieve a gentle yet commanding presence. Though not rich or high-ranking, most people meeting you will instinctively feel goodwill and respect. In that scenario, will your social relationships still be hard to navigate? At this point, some might say, "Hey friend, what you're saying insults kindness. You've turned all do-gooders into self-serving opportunists. I can't accept that." Recall the Pareto 80-20 rule. Most who do good with self-interest lie in the submerged bulk of the iceberg. But don't forget the small peak above, those who act without calculation. Like on battlefields, beyond dire situations, facing death, they unhesitatingly risk their lives for those beside them, even strangers. Such people have existed since ancient times. Regardless of others' opinions, I always hold reverence for them. Some mock and demean these individuals, calling them foolish. Why? First, their sacrifice touches the filthy, bay-leg souls of those who never do it, prompting criticism to reinforce their selfish worldview. Second, those who glimpse the world's harsh truth but lack self-confidence oppose everything. Having lost faith in the world, they curse all to find comfort, thinking themselves grand for defying it all. Such people are truly pitiful and foolish. Of course, I'm not calling us all to sacrifice ourselves for others. That's rare in daily life, and when it happens, you've no time to think. Your nature guides your truest choice. Those who don't save others to preserve their lives aren't cowardly or shameless. They simply can't overcome death's fear. Survival is humanity's highest instinct. We can't blame them, for we might not fare better. Back to this section's theme. Why be good? Have you grasped it somewhat? Being good doesn't always mean losing out. You feel cheated only because you value wealth and gain over moral satisfaction. You haven't understood your core goal. I've stressed repeatedly, what's the ultimate aim of this content? It's to build a strong spirit, not to climb ranks or amass wealth. I have a separate channel, Wealth Wisdom, for wealth building and career mindset. Check it out if you like. If you prioritize wealth and status most, don't put morality first. Don't greedily chase both riches and reverence as a moral paragon. It's tough. Almost no one achieves both. To rise and prosper, you'll inevitably take from others. Resources are finite. Even legally, you deprive others of benefits or better lives. Your moral sense can't peak then, leaving your spirit flawed. If you deem rising and thriving paramount, focus there, don't pursue the highest spirit. Confidence from self-delusion suffices for your use. But if your basic goal is the strongest spirit while doing good, even losing wealth won't feel like a loss. You'll see losing assets or unreciprocated kindness as normal, traded for moral fulfillment, a fair exchange. Don't let it weigh on you. Always recall your top goal. If you say, "I don't want to be the kind of good person," helping and sacrificing while thinking of Ribal makes me uneasy. Fine, I'll show you a higher realm. First, let's discuss charity. Many have heard it, few truly understand. It's a Buddhist term. Some, schooled in materialism for years, resist religion. I get that. But consider, materialism has thrived here for how long? And in what historical context? Why promote it? The old feudal regime rotted, and religious flaws left few devout. To rally people against the regime, a new belief was needed. Why materialism? It includes profit-only logic. Without gain, who'd risk their life for revolution? For most soldiers, you'd say, join us, kill landlords and tycoons. Land, homes, even their families are yours. Such lures drove men to battle. But what's the catch? What's revolution? Essentially, it's taking the lives of the rich and powerful, then dividing their belongings. It's killing, burning, robbing wealth and women. Small scale, it's banditry or warlordism. Nation scale, it's ruling power. Study history. Dynasties work this way. Right or wrong, this theory or that, they're tools to sway hearts. Without them, no one follows. when you demand killing and looting. However, just you claim it, most retain some goodness. Even with rewards, they hesitate to kill. Some believe in karma, fearing easy slaughter. But revolution demands mass killing. To steal resolve without doubt, materialism spread. Death ends all, no fear. Any means to seize wealth and women is success. Nothing remains after death. What's to fear? That's why materialism surged. This isn't about politics or denying materialism outright. It's unrelated to our goal. It's to say, if you can't break materialism's grip, you're limited. Materialism versus idealism hasn't fully won globally. Only in some nations does it dominate. I'm explaining why. Grasping the truth beyond death shows materialism isn't the universe's law. Its anti-religion propaganda has motives. Now, when I use Buddhist terms, you won't recoil. This part just breaks your fixed notions. I've always said, don't confine yourself to any sect or theory. Buddhism, to me, grasps truth most comprehensively and deeply, with no gaps. So, I use its terms often. Today, many dislike Buddhism due to skewed mainstream narratives and misdeeds by some within it. But even if every monk were fake, self-serving, and lawless, that wouldn't negate the Buddha's teachings from the start. That's flawed thinking. Plus, the Buddha foresaw the Dharma's end. When Buddhism decays internally, it's in the scriptures. I veered far off, perhaps. I'm not here to preach Buddhism. I lack the wisdom and standing. We're just using one concept, charity. Mentioning Buddhism was to dispel bias and misunderstandings, hence the length. Now, to the main point. As said earlier, if you dislike being good while expecting Gabal during help and sacrifice, I'll show a higher realm. The next part covers how to be good. By now, some might feel bored, thinking I'm spouting positive energy like a news broadcast. First, we shouldn't distrust everything from the mainstream or authority. That's not objective. Even foes speak some truth. If they say, drink when thirsty, eat when hungry, would you refuse because you hate them? Second, I loathe top-down brainwashing. I genuinely want to share my half-life's insights and experiences, hoping they guide the young. It's not blind, empty preaching. I don't want you to be a fake, timid goody. All I say, specific methods or dry theory, is key to a strong spirit. I know people today lack patience, craving quick, odd fixes. I've covered quick methods before. Now's for foundation building. If your soul's like iron, to prevent rust, you've two ways. 1. Shield it completely in a vacuum, avoiding the world's dark sides. Not everyone can dodge that filth lifelong. You can't avoid people forever. 2. Forge it repeatedly, heat it high, hammer out impurities, turning it into precious metal, an unbreakable sword. To reach this, you can't rely on short-term quick fixes. They're imperfect. They solve issues, but without a solid base, big challenges overwhelm you. Some say, seeing through people makes life dull, passionless. That's your flaw. Master advanced lessons, and you'll live wisely, feeling life's simple joys. So, if you've time, patiently read what I've poured my heart into for your happiness. Next, I'll cover the highest realm of goodness. Stay tuned. Greetings and see you soon.